The Knicks are winners this morning.
You're making fashion jokes. Losing to the Knicks puts you in exclusive company. It can also put your coach in a violent mood post-game. We'll explain that. Kind of Tarantino-ing this thing.
What do I need to know?
We tell you what happened, and then we show you how we got there. The Knicks, losers of 18 straight at home, haven't won there since December 1st.
Crazy stuff that can possibly happen to us in the game. They make up new stuff every time, these young dudes. And so I just had to laugh. You know, at some point you just stop resisting and you just laugh.
Fizdale was asked, about different techniques to deal with the struggles at home. He goes, what, like incense? Third quarter, Lance Thomas, a jumper. The Knicks have a 16-point lead, largest during this current home losing streak. Dennis Smith Jr., third quarter, Knicks up 18. Lobbed to Mitchell Robinson. He is great at that. Finishing around the rim. No DeAndre Jordan, so somebody had to do it. Knicks up 20. Spurs cut it all the way to 8, though, because these are the Knicks. And LaMarcus Aldridge had 18 points, but he battled foul trouble, and he battled hanging onto the basketball there. And there goes Smith Jr. for 2 of his 19. Smith Jr. also had 13 dimes. Only he and Trey Burke have double-digit assists in a game in a Knicks uniform this season. That one to Robinson. The Knicks hung 130 points on the Spurs.
So confused.
Greg Popovich, your thoughts on that?
It was a pathetic performance defensively. But the Knicks had something to do with it. They were physical. They did a good job. Did I just say that we were pathetic on defense?
Well, all right, so
what would you like me to do? Would you like me to slit my throat or
no? Like, what was pathetic about
beat
it?
myself up or something like that?
Oh, the Spurs are the 7th seed in the Western Conference, but they're a playoff team right now. Knicks 18-game home losing streak, longest in franchise history by a wide margin, 50% longer than any home losing streak the New York squad has ever had. It gets worse. Had they lost to the Spurs, it would have matched the longest home losing streak in NBA history. The 93-94 Mavs had a longer winless stretch at home. They're the only team to do that. The streak historic beyond basketball world, tied for the 3rd longest home losing streak in the 4 North American major sports, MLB, NBA, NFL, and NHL history.
Not an anti-tanking, as in 2 teams that try to win all the time. It's the Clippers, it's the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, Montrezl Harrell. And I want tell me your thoughts. First quarter, Clippers down 22-19. Montrezl Harrell dunks all over Mason Plumlee. Is that good enough that we might see this later? Top plays-esque.
Ooh.
Do you put it on the list?
It's on the list.
Okay, we'll debate. We'll find out.
As it were.
A TPN, if you will. This was all about Paul Millsap, Nikola Jokic. They were all over the place in a variety of ways. They both finished with 2010 games. Nuggets coach Michael Malone was like, Paul found the fountain of youth. The break did a body good. 21 points, 16 rebounds, 2 blocks. Jokic was in foul trouble. Like, he got his 4 2 minutes into the second half, and he still finished with 22 points, 16 rebounds, and 3 assists. In the 3rd quarter, the Nuggets are up now, 86-70. Watch Gary Harris deflect the pass and then swat out to Monte Morris. It makes that part just look easy. The Nuggets were up by 18. Not pictured, but very much implied here, are all the shots that the Clippers missed. The Clippers as a team shot 34.5% and being generous with the half. It's like, how old are you? 2.5. Nuggets go on to win this one 123-96. And the win for the Nuggets moves them to within a game of the Warriors out west for the top seed. They also have a comfortable 3-game lead ahead of the Thunder, who are the 3 seed. The Clippers are currently the 8 seed. They're just a game ahead of the surprisingly enjoyable Kings this season and 3 games ahead of the Lakers, who are currently in LeBron's uncomfortably comfortable position of not being in the postseason.
It wasn't that I needed to reach a different level, it was that I needed to be in that level right now.
The Lakers get back to the 500 mark. We wonder what a game like this can do.
Just kickstarting something a little bit earlier than I've done in the past. I like where I'm at.
And that's it. A surprise tonight. Didn't see this coming.
The last few years, everybody's so accustomed to the losses that I'm just not accustomed to.
LeBron James after their embarrassing loss to the Pelicans without Anthony Davis on Saturday. The Lakers now 3 games out of a final playoff spot out west. 23 games to play, and ESPN's BPI giving them just a 6% chance to make the playoffs. Their remaining strength of schedule is the 5th hardest in the league. BPI favoring the Lakers in just 9 of their remaining games. So LeBron James has not missed the NBA Finals since 2010, and you have to go back even further for the last time that he missed the playoffs.
Yeah, Greeny, that was back in 2005. It's your turn. Take it away. Hi.
Good morning, Randy and Nicole. Thank you. I've got Jalen and Jay Will here getting set for Get Up in 24 minutes, and we're talking about the Lakers, and it is looking less and less like they will make the playoffs. What do you see right now, Jalen, as their biggest problem?
Their biggest problem is that they're in the Western Conference. I've been talking about this for like a month on this program. I don't feel like they're going to make the playoffs because the road is a lot tougher. They have the 5th toughest schedule. They have a lot of teams jockeying for position that would throw a parade if they made the playoffs. Like the Sacramento Kings added Harrison Barnes. They're going for it. And I know at the beginning of the season, people didn't think those two teams would actually be fighting for a playoff spot. So it's going to be fascinating to see how this plays out for Los Angeles.
Jay Will, what can you see or what do you see they can do, the Lakers, between now and the end of the regular season to make a run?
It's about the details of the game. I mean, in that game they had when they lost to the New Orleans Pelicans without AD, obviously. Drew Holiday is a beast, I understand that. But still, that's a game the Lakers should win. You can't have 23 turnovers. You can't shoot 65% from the free throw line. And I like the fact that LeBron's saying this kind of stuff. I mean, we'll talk about that deeper in the show, but I think you have to set the tone, and he's trying to do it. Either you get on board or you don't.
You agree?
I absolutely agree. And the thing is, this Los Angeles Lakers team has been fractured. Once that trade got public, all of a sudden, all of the players, while you are playing for the team on the front, you definitely got to look out for the name on the back.
All right, we're going to be really busy this morning. Get Up starts in 23 minutes. Jalen and Jay Will with us all morning long. Marie.
Nikola Jokic, one of 3 players in the league, averaging 20 a game, 10 rebounds a game, 5 assists a game this season. Giannis and Russell Westbrook, the other 2 good names. Clippers in Denver try to put a stop to that for one night anyway. Here we go. First quarter, Clippers down 3. Montrezl Harrell coming. Down Broadway. He's tall. Another look. Plumlee made some effort. What they're supposed to do. All right, this game was all about Paul Millsap and Jokic, though. Scoring in a variety of ways. In the lane, chronic abusers in the lane. Up at the rim, they're athletic. Turning a little D into offense, that's coming. Moving the ball around, there it is. Farm to table. They both finished with 20-10 games. Jokic goes 22, 16 boards, 3 assists. Millsap had 21, 16, and a pair of blocks. Third quarter, Nuggets up big. Gary Harris deflects that. And there's Monte Morris. Nuggets up 18. About a minute later, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's got it. Plumlee resists. Tipped out to Morris. He'll make that. Nuggets win it $1.23 to 96. By the way, the Clippers are currently the 8th seed. They're game back of the 6th seed Jazz. Take a look at the Lakers down there at the 10 spot. They're 3 games out of a playoff spot right now. To make matters worse, they have the 5th hardest remaining series.
Just treading water right now. Not what they need.
We didn't play well enough game to win.
So 3-on-1. Johnson all the way down to 3-on-0. Drew Holiday, step back 3. What a way to end the quarter if you're the Pelicans.
I know it's going to be very challenging, but I felt like we can still play, better basketball.
And that's it. A surprise tonight, to say the least. Didn't see this coming.
But how many know what's at stake if you've never been there? When you've never been there or know what it takes to actually, shoot for something like that, sometimes you're afraid to get uncomfortable. So you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I'm not saying that's what we are as a whole. Kind of looks that way at times. That sometimes we feel like we're afraid to be uncomfortable, kind of get out of our comfort zone. Have that sense of urgency. From the jump, not be afraid to actually go out and fail to succeed. So, we have 23 games left. We'll see what happens.
Weekend Encore is brought to you by McDonald's.
Well, 3 of the next 4 games for the Lakers are against teams with losing records. That's not great news. LA is 16-11 against losing teams this season, tied for the 2nd most losses of any Western Conference playoff contender, in quotations. LA has 9 games left against teams ahead of them in the West. Lakers have struggled against teams ahead of them. That's why they're ahead of them, 11-14. And according to ESPN's Basketball Power Index, Kenny's scrambling to look that up right now.
Sure.
Things not looking good. LA has just a 5% chance of making postseason play. It's a 4% chance they're an 8 seed.
They're at 6%.
Magic and the Raptors. No Kawhi. Load management. The reason he's sitting out. Pop would be proud. Evan Fournier finds Nikola Vucevic. Buries the 3, and the Magic were up by 8. DJ Augustine attempting the pass, and it's stolen by Kyle Lowry. He makes a bad pass. OG Anunoby, the save, but the ball lands in the hands of Vucevic. And you get the idea, the layup to Augustine. Jeremy Lin to Lowry for 3. Lowry scored the most points for the Raptors. He had 19. Nice ball movement here, and Marc Gasol will lay it in. Tied at 63s. Jeremy Lin, errant pass.
Insanity.
Lands in the hands of Jaren Grant to Aaron Gordon, slams it home. Fourth quarter, Magic up 80-73. Here's Gordon, underrated, the bounce pass to Terrence Ross. Watch the flush with authority. Magic up 82-73, less than 6 minutes to go. Off the inbounds. Vucevic hits the 3, had a strong game, 23-12. The Magic win.
It'd be a horrible idea, although I could be for some load management on those 1 a.m. news shifts. Welcome, everyone. Number 1 Knicks fan Spike Lee was being honored at those Oscars. His home team was trying to avoid being put in other rare company. This Knicks home losing streak hasn't really taken off as a cultural phenomenon, but it's been undeniably bad and long.
18 consecutive home losses. That should be impossible in the NBA, which has the biggest home advantage in any of the major team sports. The 18 is 1 shy of the all-time NBA single-season record. To the Mecca that is New York City and Madison Square Garden. Knicks did not get off to a great start. LaMarcus Aldridge the miss, and Dennis Smith Jr. and Kevin Knox both go in for the rebound and tip it in. David Fizdale, what are you laughing about?
You have to surrender. I basically just surrendered to all of the crazy stuff that can possibly happen to us in the game. They make up new stuff every time, these young dudes. And so I just had to laugh. You know, at some point you just stop resisting and you just laugh. And, you know, that was, you know, one of the moments.
Hey, something for a Knicks head coach to laugh about. I'm in. In the third, the Knicks are actually up 14. Lance Thomas, the jumper. The Knicks' 16-point lead, the largest during the current home losing streak. Under 6 minutes left in the third. Knicks up 18. Smith Jr. to Mitchell Robinson. Knicks up 20. But the Spurs did not quit. They cut it all the way down to 8. Here's LaMarcus Aldridge. Can't do anything with that. Stripped by Smith Jr. All the way by himself. Knicks up 10, and they were on their way. Under a minute left. Game out of reach. Knicks are going to blow somebody out. Smith Jr., the steal, celebrated. They go off the glass to Robinson, who throws it down. It won't be 19 straight losses at home. It's a non-story.
We didn't even talk about it.
After the fact.
We didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about it in the locker room. We didn't talk, none of it. We just, you know, like I said, every night, for whatever reason, and that's why I really like this group of guys. They get over it fast, and they get back to work. They get over it, they get back to work. And at some point, you know, the basketball guys will look out for you when you're doing that.
We played very soft in the first half, and the only reason we're in the game is because our subs came out and showed some physicality, showed some effort, and cut whatever it was, 20 points down to 10. But other than that, it was a pathetic performance defensively.
This team hadn't won at home since December 1st. I mean, defensively, what was the issue?
Did I just say that we were pathetic on defense?
Well, all right, so
what would you like me to do? Would you like me to slit my throat or
no? Like, what was pathetic about
beat myself up or something like that?
Can you get more specific about what?
No, I'm not going to give you a coaching clinic.
Coach Pop. Quite a ride for us Knickerbocker fans. MSG faithful went 912 minutes of game time between home wins for the Knicks. Last win 85 days ago against the Bucks, December 1st. Knicks led for just 183 minutes during the streak. 21% of the time. They led for 94% of the time on Sunday. The Knicks